Good day, subscribers, and welcome everybody back to The Contrarian. I have some big news today, and that is that Michael Burry just revealed to CNBC via email that he has covered his short position on Tesla at some point recently. And this is big news because Michael Burry has been very outspoken in terms of his skepticism surrounding Tesla's valuation for roughly the last year. So this is big news that he decided to sell his put options, or at least in some way leave his short position that he held in Tesla via put options. And also this is significant because right now Tesla is rallying on news that they are reportedly responding better to the semiconductor shortage that is being experienced around the globe by automakers right now. Reportedly they are responding to this situation better than other automakers by essentially modifying their software so that they can use other chips that essentially puts them in a position to keep more of their factories open than other automakers out there. The stock is rallying on this news, as well as analysts raising their expectations on Q3 earnings for Tesla, which are coming out tomorrow, October 20th. So October 20th, in my mind, is a really key day to watch Tesla, to see how traders and investors respond to the Q3 earnings report. It's already come out that they've beat production guidelines, or the estimated vehicle sales for Q3. It just needs to remain to be seen how the earnings and fundamentals look on Tesla. So in response to this, if Tesla continues to rally, if they rally past the previous all-time high around $900, I would actually say that Tesla could be in a position to undergo another short squeeze, and not as large as the first one was in magnitude, but still a short squeeze nonetheless, as there are still a lot of investors who are short Tesla, who would then begin covering likely if Tesla breaks higher than its previous all-time high, and this would add to further retail investors jumping on board, as this is seen as a momentous occasion to join in on the fun. So all this being said, I'm not trying to provide financial advice in any way, but Tesla, in my opinion, could actually rally significantly in the near-term future. However, I do share Michael Burry's opinion on Tesla in terms of its valuation being in an entirely different universe than that of other automakers. In terms of long-term valuations, I do think that Tesla needs to correct very, very substantially from where it currently is, currently being valued at more than all other major automakers around the world combined. This is in no way a sane valuation for this stock to be at. So in my opinion, Dr. Michael Burry is still very correct in his assessments, in his criticisms of the valuation being given to Tesla stock right now. I do think that in the long term, he and all of the people who have been bearish on Tesla will be proven correct, but in the short term, it really does need to be seen how high Tesla can go before it begins rolling over, or how long it takes for it to begin correcting. And I do think that this will come eventually. It's just a matter of when, not if. But in the meantime, we do need to see just how much of a short squeeze can be given to Tesla should earnings come out better than expected, and should investors begin to bid up the price as a result. That's a big if. It could have just the opposite reaction, but it does appear right now that momentum is building behind Tesla's stock. So all this being said, I'm not trying to provide a financial advice in any way. I just do see a lot of headwinds coming for Tesla in the long-term future. A lot of new EV makers coming on the market, new startups, as well as well-established automakers who are just beginning to produce their own models of EVs, which in my opinion just continues to eat into Tesla's share of the market. And there's a lot of other points I could go down, but long story short, I just want to keep this video short. It's a big day out there, in that I do like to watch Michael Burry. He's been very successful in his moderately long career on Wall Street. I do think that he, reportedly this was only a trade that he did. This wasn't actually a short position that he took that was long-term. So in my mind, it's actually likely that Burry does actually go short Tesla at some point in the future, maybe when they're at a much higher valuation than it even is right now, which already is an extremely high valuation. But that might be the next big short that Michael Burry becomes even more famous for, is going short Tesla when it has a market cap of whatever it is in another few months. So all this being said, this is big news that Michael Burry has sold out of his short position on Tesla stock. It's a bit of a defeat short term for those who are bearish on Tesla, but I do think in the long term the bears are going to have the last say right now, just in terms of looking at past bubbles and how bubbles never resolve by going sideways. They always do pop in some manner. So all this being said, guys, I'm not trying to provide financial advice in any way, but this is just me covering the most recent happening in the world of finance that I like to cover. And if you like this video on the contrarian, I like to talk about the world of finance in a different way than the mainstream media normally talks about. I like to look at things, and I tend to take opinions that are against the crowd or consensus, just because in the long term the crowd is almost wrong, especially at inflection points in the market, which, if anything right now with Tesla, if we do continue to see exuberance and optimism build around Tesla, at that point when there's basically no bears left and Tesla's at an extremely high valuation already, but if it goes even higher, in my mind that might even present a very good opportunity for me as a contrarian investor who looks at the fundamentals to actually go short. I have gone short Tesla in the past, roughly when it was at its previous all-time high. Like Burry, it was just a trade, though I did exit out of it in just a couple months later, earlier this year. But all of this being said, I have no position in Tesla right now. So all this being said, just consider subscribing to this channel if you like this kind of content, and I hope to see you again at some point.